bit. All right, so I'm gonna turn the record on. And I'm gonna bring Miss Johnson in. Miss Johnson, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
This is Judge Middleton. I'm down the hall here at the courtroom, and you're in the conference room. This is People versus Karen Marie Johnson, file 211196. You're charged with aggravated stalking, I believe, on your daughter. Mr. Luke Knopfinger was appointed to represent you. Mr. Gary Gabry, the Chief Assistant Prosecuting Attorney, is also present. The way this is charged, let me pull it up. It's alleged that through May of 21, that you engage in a course of conduct that involved continuous harassment of Karen Baker that would cause her to be threatened, harassed, and some of it, at least some of it, was in violation of a restraining order. That makes this a felony punishable by up to 5 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $10,000. Mr. Gabry, is there a plea offer?
Your Honor, I'd like to say something right now. I don't want to take a plea. I want to go to court. I want a jury of my peers. I want to.
Okay, well, that's all fine. I just want to establish whether there is a plea offer. Was there one, Mr. Gabry?
I don't want.
Just a minute, Karen.
Okay.
Gary, you're on mute.
No, Your Honor, there was not. Our position is based on the conduct. The case will have to be resolved in circuit court.
All right.
I also do not want Mr. Knopfinger being my lawyer anymore. I want human representation.
All right, well, let's discuss that. Karen?
Yes, sir.
You're charged with this 5-year felony. Because it is a felony, you're entitled to have what's called a preliminary examination. And in the normal course of events, that would be next Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Mr. Knopfinger advised us that he felt there'd been a breakdown in the attorney-client relationship. Mr. Knopfinger is a very conscientious young attorney. I don't get people complaining about his representation. He's very diligent. My fear is that you're not going to get along with any attorney. What is the reason you wish to have a new attorney?
Okay, I was texting him a bunch of information because I just found out what my daughter did and what she's capable of, and what she did when she it's possible for my son-in-law, not to me. requirements to show up for his custody hearing because she withheld the information from him, and she sure knew what she was doing. She premeditated it, and he forfeited his custody rights because she kept the information from him, and I believe that is a felony. And I would like to see her charged with that felony. She deserves it, even though
All right,
he's
well, why does that make you mad at Mr. Knopfinger?
because I was texting him a bunch of information, and he said, no. And I thought there was hope for you, but there's no hope. Yeah, you're doing the same thing to me that you're doing to her. I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna have you locked up for good. We're gonna throw away the key.
Well, I'm sure he didn't say that. Karen, can you sit still? Sit still. Karen, I'm watching your behavior, which is indicative of someone that's struggling with mental illness. And you and I have discussed this in the past. Are you taking your medication this morning?
Yes, I'm just very upset.
Could you repeat that?
I'm just having a really hard time. I just lost my half sister to this balloon. Then 2 days later, I got locked up in a mental institution for the 8th time in Maryville, Indiana.
No. All right. Mr. Gabriel, you have any input on this? You're muted once again.
I didn't think you wanted to hear me typing. I've been asking Ms. Countryman to weigh in on the victim's position. Obviously, I have concerns from my observations of this young lady and the allegations against her as to questions of both competency and then actually maybe even criminal responsibility. I just don't know to what extent some of the things she says might be accurate and what they might be a symptom of her mental illness.
I don't lie about anything.
And I'm not qualified to make that determination. Certainly if a counselor representing her felt she needed that kind of evaluation, I would concur. But I've had little contact. I have no knowledge other than what I'm observing now and what I'm reading as being that she's accused of.
I've known Miss Johnson for many years, and in the recent years, she's really been struggling.
Oh, right.
Karen?
He gets better. I have another thing that she has done, which is, she told my sister that I've been confounding my son up ever since they were little, and I was sticker fucking her up until the point that she got the PPO, and that saved her from committing suicide.
All right, well, Karen, stop for a minute. I'm going to order that you be examined for competency. I'm going to reserve on your motion to fire Mr. Knopfinger.
She said that my son was ready to cut his dick and balls off. That's what she told my sister. My sister was ready.
All right, Karen, I'm going to mute your mic for a minute. She's stating some really irrational stuff, and we can all see her behavior, and I have knowledge of her struggles. I'm going to order a competency evaluation. She is on bond. Karen, we're going to have you evaluated by a doctor, and I'm going to schedule that. I'm going to set, Luke, what's your duty week out in the fall?
Oh, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Let me see if I can tell you. October and November. Wait a minute, that's Lori Hines. November 1st, I'm going to set this for PEC for November 2nd.
Luke, I realize, Your Honor, this isn't necessarily my place, but based on what I'm seeing and what I'm reading, you might want to do criminal responsibility too. And if,
Well, we can't do that till she gets found over to circuit court.
oh, okay. That's true. We have to file
So
it.
we got to start with competency and then, but I certainly concur, Mr. Gabriel. Karen, I've muted your microphone and I can't unmute it from here. But I'm going to schedule an appointment for you at the Forensic Center for a psychiatric evaluation. They may be able to do it remotely. Are you still on 4th Street? Shake your head if the answer is yes. All right, I'm going to send you that information. But I think anyone watching this record would come to the same conclusions that we all did. Karen, I want you to continue to comply with the terms of your bond. I don't want you to have contact with your daughter. Also, I want you to continue to cooperate with community mental health and take all your medications as prescribed. I do have some concern about her ability to get to the appointment. We may need to request an assist from the sheriff, but we'll work on that. All right, Karen, you're free to go. I'm going to have you evaluated by a doctor to see whether you're competent to proceed further. All right, you're free to go on about your business. In fact, why don't you go out to the counter and we'll give you that notice for the next date. Go out to the counter and see the clerks. All right, I'm not sure where that case is headed, but Lori is back and Justin Folk is back.
Don't they do involuntary commitments anymore?
Not very well. We've had several spectacular failures. Judge Tomlinson and I and community mental health have moved heaven and earth to get people committed, and then they walk out the back door. And so not real well.
Okay. You want to do Rome before we go on though?
Well, let's do Mr. Folk. And then Luke, you've got another one, Chase Rome?
Yeah.
All right, let's do that. Then we'll do Folk. Chase Rome has two files, 211312 and 211283. Assault with a dangerous weapon, 3 counts, and resisting and obstructing. Mr. Nofsinger, have you attempted to reach Mr. Rome?
I have.
Well, about successful as I usually am. We attempted to call, no success. In file 211312, the bond is $50,000, cash or surety. Make sure he's not in custody.
checked Michigan this morning, but I guess I
He's not in our jail.
didn't think about it.
I'm gonna do a bench warrant. On $50,000 cash or surety. Do immediate notice of bond forfeiture. That ought to get a rise out of the bonding company. Hold 48 hours. In the 211283, charges resisting and obstructing, the bond is $5,000 cash or surety. Same thing. Immediate notice of bond forfeiture. New bond, 10,000 cash or surety. $48-hour hold. I did try to call the number. I believe it's the same number you have, Luke, and you heard it didn't work. Maybe the bonding company can roust him up. He's a local guy. I thought maybe I'd wake him up, but he isn't here. He hasn't contacted his lawyer, and we may have to pick him up. Thank you, Luke, for your patience.
Yeah, thank you, Judge. See you, Gary. See you, Lori.
Yep.
Melissa is still in the conference room. And poor Jordan is strung out here waiting for her case. I should have opened more than one room. All right, Ms. Hines, you've had an opportunity to talk to Mr. Folk. Mr. Folk, could you unmute your microphone? Mr. Folk?
Yeah.
All right. Now, we're in a felony court proceeding. Do they have the ability to do video?
Yeah, I'd have to back all the way out and restart it. I mean, I can do it real quick if you'd like me to.
Yes, I would.
All right. Give me 1 minute.
Lori, what are we gonna do with this?
We need to confirm when his status conference is. Gary, can you tell me the date and time? Basically,
Thursday.
at what time?
Hang on.
My understanding is he will enter a plea in circuit court in Paul Gibson's case and then dismiss this. So we're not going to do a waiver. We'll just wait to see what happens on Thursday. But he indicated to me he was going to enter a plea in Paul's case.
All right. How about if we just leave?
He wanted to confirm the date and time for his status conference.
8/5, 9 a.m.
Okay.
Gary, what's the file number in that case?
Is 21-237-26 FH. That's
all right.
live. We have to be in court.
All right. We'll discuss
Gary,
that.
I told him that if when he logs into circuit court and status conference, he's got to be in Zoom mode and they have to see him. So he's
No, he's got to be in the courtroom.
It still won't let me
he's
use
in
the
the
video.
courtroom. All right.
Mr. Folk, are you back?
Yeah, it won't let
right.
me use video for
All
whatever
right,
reason.
we'll do the best we can. We're gonna leave this set for prelim for next Tuesday, August 10th at 1 o'clock. You have to be in court at the courthouse. No iPhone, no Zoom. You have to physically be present at the courthouse with Mr. Gibson, your lawyer, on August 5th at 9 a.m. for your circuit court case. As
Okay.
I understand it, if you plead in that case, which is 2123326 FH, the prosecutor will dismiss this CCW charge. Do you understand? You have to physically be here at the courthouse this Thursday morning at 9 o'clock.
All right.
All right. And stay
Justin,
in
I did
contact
tell you
with your lawyer.
wrong. I apologize. You do have to be there in person, no Zoom, okay?
Okay.
All right. And then if that happens, this matter will be dismissed and you won't need to be here next Thursday. If it falls through, we'll have a preliminary examination here next Thursday, which will also be in person.
Okay. So this Thursday at the courthouse.
At 9 a.m., you will meet with
9
Mr.
a.m.
Gibson. And I will let Mr. Gibson know your current phone number, Justin, so he can
He's
reach
got
out
it.
to you.
I'm gonna go ahead and call him after this.
All right,
All
very
right.
good. Thank you.
All right, you're good to go. I'm gonna close that room that Melissa's in. I haven't got the luxury of letting her talk to her client for an hour when the client doesn't show up.
You said I'm all good to go.
You're good to go.
All
Yes,
right. Have a good day.
Justin, thank you.
All right, Mr. White's been waiting patiently, so is Jordan. Lori, we have a plea in Miranda Rawson.
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
I think I'll bring her in. Let's see, we also have a plea in Tyler Shelton.
No,
No.
Oh, that's no, a misdemeanor plea question mark I wrote. I will leave
no,
him where he
leave her
is.
back. There is no misdemeanor plea.
All right. Jordan, I closed the Melissa, I closed the breakout room. I only opened one and we're backed up. I can open another one, but Miss Bales didn't contact you. Do you need to go back into a breakout room to continue speaking with her?
No, I think she had decided that she would waive her preliminary examiner. She didn't.
All right, we'll address that. Jordan, okay. I'm gonna put you and Mr. White in a breakout room. And Laura, could I have a bind over sheet on Hannah Bales? Every time I try to do more than one room, I get screwed up. So I'll put Jordan Yancey and the arraignment room. Mr. White, you can have an opportunity to talk to your lawyer. I'm going to bring Miranda back in here. Miss Bales, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
All right, let's talk about your case. This is file 211497. You're charged with possession of methamphetamine. That is a felony. It's punishable by up to 10 years in prison and a fine of up to $15,000. Let me get into your file. My understanding is you've had an opportunity to discuss with your attorney, and you're going to waive your right to have a preliminary examination in this matter and have the matter bound over to the circuit court. Is that what you wish to do?
Yeah.
All right, let me tell you a couple things. Do you understand that well, let me tell you this. A preliminary examination is a hearing where they establish whether there's probable cause to believe a crime was committed and that you did it. You're not pleading guilty, you're not admitting any responsibility, you're simply acknowledging they can meet that burden of proof or probable cause. So let me read you this. I, Hannah Alyssa Bales, understand I have a right to employ an attorney. I may request a court-appointed attorney if I'm financially unable to employ one. I have a right to a preliminary examination where it must be shown that a crime was committed and probable cause exists to charge me with the crime. I voluntarily waive my right to a preliminary examination and understand that I will be bound over to the circuit court on the charges in the complaint and warrant. Is that what you wish to do?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
All right. I'm going to show that this matter is bound over to circuit court. I don't know if they're considering drug treatment court or whether the other options are, but this leaves your options open and for the negotiation of the case.
Your Honor, we have an agreement, and basically we believe Ms. Bales will qualify for 7411. If she wants to use that, we aren't going to object. She'll be asking for it in circuit court.
All right. Thank you for placing that on the record. Ms. Bales, I want you to stay in contact. Now, I'm not going to get on your case too bad. You indicated you were in the hospital, and I guess that's a good reason for not showing up. But you need to stay in better contact with your attorney. And it'll be set for a status conference on the charges in the complaint. You've posted a $7,500 PR bond, which is continued with all the same conditions. Are you still living on Riverside Drive?
Yeah.
And does your phone number still end in 6623?
Yes, sir.
All right. You stay in contact with your lawyer and you're good to go. All right. Anything else we should put on the record here, Melissa?
Sorry. No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Bales, you're good to go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Melissa. Well, Jordan's got a phone call due at 10. Hopefully she can finish. Ms. Rawson, can you hear me? Good morning, Mr. Marvin.
Good morning. I'm in your
Plug in.
waiting room. If you love it, would you mind letting me in?
Oh, yeah, there you are. I didn't see you. Sure, I like that. All right. This is Miranda Rawson. Sorry, David. 211498FY and 211499. Miranda Elizabeth Rawson is charged with assault with a dangerous weapon, domestic violence second offense, 2 counts, and 1498. In 1499, she's charged with 2 counts of unlawful use of a financial transaction device. Those are all felony charges. Mr. Gabriel and Ms. Hines, my reading of the plea agreement is that Miranda's going to plead to 1 count of domestic violence second offense, and the other charges will be dismissed. Is that correct?
Yes, Your
Yes,
Honor.
Your Honor.
Miranda, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I've known you for some time, and I've referred to you in the past as a sparrow in a hurricane, which is a young woman trying to make her way in the world. You have got these charges. The prosecutor has agreed to dismiss everything but one count of domestic violence second offense. Is there a restitution component for the financial transaction device?
No, Your Honor, there were aborted attempts. No money was removed.
All right, thank you. All right, Miranda, domestic violence second offense would be on your boyfriend, I think your child's father, Jesus Sanchez Gabriel. Domestic violence second offense is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $1,000. If you do enter this plea, I'm not going to sentence you today. I've got to set it for sentencing out a little bit. I want to get the police report and get some input from the complaining witness. Have you had a chance to discuss this with your lawyer, Ms. Hines?
Yeah.
And are you going to plead to domestic violence second offense?
Yes.
Other than the plea agreement here, did anyone promise you anything to get you to plead to this
No.
or threaten you?
No.
All right. Do you understand that by pleading to this charge, you will be giving up your right to have a trial in front of a judge or jury? There'll be no trial. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
If you had a trial, you would have the right to be represented by an attorney. Ms. Hines is here to represent you. You could also hire an attorney of your own choosing if you wish. If you had a trial, you'd have a right to have any of the witnesses for or against you subpoenaed to come to court so they could be questioned under oath. You would have the right to take the witness stand yourself and testify, but you don't have to because you have a right not to testify. And if you did not wish to testify, the judge or jury could not hold your silence against you, and you have the right to be presumed innocent if and until the state was able to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand?
Yes.
Let me pull up the complaint. We gotta close a bunch of stuff out here. 20 things at once. The complaint alleges that on or about July 19th, you assaulted Jesus Gabriel Sanchez in the city of Sturgis. Someone you had a dating relationship with, and you had a previous offense. Tell me what happened that day.
We were just arguing about something small and it escalated and he just kept pushing me and pushing me and pushing me and I just got mad.
What did you do?
I just went into the kitchen and I did grab a knife and I told him I was going to kill him. I wasn't actually going to kill him, obviously, but I threw the knife back into the kitchen and then I left.
Mr. Gabriel, are you satisfied with that factual basis?
I am, Your Honor.
Ms. Hines?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, you two have a no contact condition. Where are you staying, Miranda? Are you still on Antler Road?
Yeah.
And he's gone?
Yeah.
I'm going to set this for sentencing for August 31st. Lori, does that work for you?
Yes, it does, Your Honor.
At 11 o'clock. I want victim input and the police report. According to Mr. Gabriel, I don't need to order any restitution on the financial transaction device. We'll take a look at that one also, but I don't think it's going to apply with this. Miranda, your bond is continued. All the conditions remain in effect. We will send you the notice for this hearing. It will be by Zoom, at least through the end of August. We may start doing our misdemeanor sentences live also, but unless you hear otherwise, it will be by Zoom. You stay in contact with your lawyer, Ms. Hines, and I will see you on August 31st at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
All right, thank you. You're good to
Thank you,
go.
Miranda.
Yeah.
Jordan, thank you for waiting. We've taken an hour of your time. We've lost Mr. White from the arraignment room. What's our status with him?
Your Honor, he's demanding his prelim for next week, so I've emailed Mr. Gabry and we will let the court know. if
That's
anything-
gonna be a humdinger of a week next week. We're gonna have 2 shooting cases and this one, but maybe Judge Pattison might be able to assist.
No,
I'm
no,
planning-
no, one of my shooters waived, Your Honor.
Oh, did they? Okay, well, we'll address that.
Like
All
I say, Your
right.
Honor, I'm planning to see Mr. White at the jail again later this week or early next week, so if something changes, I will keep everybody informed.
I would also indicate, Your Honor, that this case coming up on the docket was a surprise to both myself and Mr. Marvin. As we're proceeding, I'm trying to review the police report, and I indicate that when I get a chance, I'm going to look at it a little closer. So maybe there's something we can do. So I'll,
He's been in jail for 97 days on some other things, but,
okay.
all right, unless we hear otherwise, prelim is set for 8/10/21 at 1 o'clock. And he will be from the jail. I think we'll do him by Polycom. But what are your preference to have him here personally?
It may be better to have him there. It works. Like I said, I'm gonna talk to him again later this week or on Monday.
I'll be demanded to be brought from jail. We're getting back into the mode of live hearings. All right, Jordan, thank you. I'm sorry it took me so long to do that, but I
No
appreciate it.
worries. Thank you,
All
everybody.
right.
Have a great day.
All right, now we've got all the important people we need. We've got David Marvin, Gary Gabry, the arraignment room at the jail, and Lori Hines. We had the lawyers do a lot of work and keep me up to speed with some emails on what our status was. So in the conference room, we have Tyler Shelton, Caitlin, Beauchamp, Bryn Wesley, Brian Wesley. Let's talk about those. Brian Wesley was, I put misdemeanor plea question mark. What are we doing with that one?
I believe that we were giving him an opportunity to plead to an attempted unlawful, an attempt of the 2-year, what we used to call joyriding. I guess it's UUA.
Attempted joyride. Does he accept that, Lori?
Yes.
I will bring him in. Caitlin Beauchamp.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Whoa. I messed up. No, it's the attempted 4th, not joyriding.
Flee and loot, okay. Well, I wrote attempted flee and loot, all right.
Okay.
I thought there
Caitlin
was a new
Beauchamp.
term. She's gonna enter a plea to use of cocaine.
All right, I'll bring her in. Tyler Shelton.
He needs to waive on the record, Your Honor.
All right. Let's bring all of them in. All right, thank you for your patience. Mr. Wesley, would you take your hat off? Thank you. You've all been waiting in the conference room while we've been working on other cases, and now we're ready to address each of your cases. This is Judge Middleton. I'm at the courthouse in Centerville, and you're at individual remote locations. I've got Tyler Shelton here with us, Caitlin Beauchamp, and Brian Wesley. Laura, could I have a bind over sheet on Tyler Shelton? Mr. Shelton, we're going to start with you. Can you hear me? Mr. Shelton, you need to unmute your mic.
Yes.
Good morning,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
This is Middleton. You and I have met before. I appreciate your patience here this morning. Your lawyer, Lori Hines, is here with us.
No problem.
And you're charged with domestic violence as a third offense, which is a 5-year felony, and assault with a dangerous weapon, which is a felony punishable by up to 4 years in prison. Those are alleged to have occurred on July 21st here in St. Joe County. Complaining witness is Madison Shelton. It's my understanding that you're going to waive preliminary examination and have the matter bound over to the circuit court, where you can engage in further plea negotiation and discussion between your lawyer and the prosecutor. Is that what you wish to do?
Yes, sir.
Anybody promise you anything to get you to do that
No, sir.
or threaten you?
Nope.
All right. Here comes the bind over sheet. It says, I, Tyler Shelton, understand I have a right to employ an attorney. I may request a court-appointed attorney if I'm financially unable to employ one. I have a right to a preliminary examination where it must be shown that a crime was committed and probable cause exists to charge me with the crime. Here's the language. I voluntarily waive my right to a preliminary examination and understand that I will be bound over to the circuit court on the charges in the complaint and warrant. Is that what you wish to do?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Shelton, are you still living out in Leonidas?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you working somewhere?
Yes.
Where's that?
TH Plastics and Mended.
All right. Very good. What shift are you on?
Third shift.
All right, so this is your sleep time. I'm going to finish with you here in just a moment.
Yes.
Your bond conditions remain in effect, which includes no assaultive behavior, no alcohol, no contact with the complaining witness, Madison Shelton. The matter will be set for a status conference in the circuit court. You posted a
Your Honor,
bond of.
Your
Yes.
Honor, his bond conditions do not require no contact.
Why is that?
Well, they live together. He's got some mental health issues. One of the conditions was that he shall participate in mental health services, but his bond conditions don't have the no contact.
Well, I'm not going to amend it at this juncture. All right, all the bond conditions that were on your original bond remain in effect. Mr. Gabriel, you accept the waiver?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
Mr. Shelton, stay in contact with your attorney. I don't have a phone number here, but she must have one.
Yes, I do.
All right, you're free to go.
Your Honor.
All right, I'll remove you from the feed here. Mr. Wesley, you appear to be at work. We'll do yours and then we'll do Miss Beauchamp.
Okay. Yes, I am at work, Your Honor.
All right. Well, this Zoom certainly has made things easier for people that are working, but there's pros and cons. Do you say your name is Brian?
Yes, Brian.
Bryin, Brian Michael Wesley, file 211491. Mr. Wesley, let me bring your file up. Everything is electronic here. It's alleged that on or about July 18th, White Pigeon Township, that you did flee and elude Trooper John Hoffmeister. And that is a felony punishable by up to 2 years in prison and a fine of up to $500. Prosecutors agreed to reduce this to a lesser charge of attempting to flee and elude a police officer in 4th degree, which is a misdemeanor punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $250. That does carry, I believe, 6 points on your driving record. Do you understand the charge?
Yes, sir, I do.
Are you going to plead to that charge?
At this time, yes, Your Honor. I'm kind of nervous and scared altogether.
All right, well, I'm not going to sentence you today, so nothing terrible is going to happen here. I'm going to set it for sentencing out for a couple of weeks and get the police report and see what happened and take a look at your driving record and learn a little more about you. Let me ask you a couple of questions.
Yes, sir.
Did anyone threaten you to try to get you to plead to this charge?
No, sir.
Or promise you anything?
No, sir.
Ms. Beauchamp, these rights apply to you also. Do you understand that if you plead to this charge, you'll be giving up your right to have a trial in front of a judge or jury? There will be no trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, I do.
If you had a trial, you'd have the right to be represented by an attorney. Ms. Hines has been appointed to represent you. You could also hire an attorney of your own choosing if you wish. You had a trial, you'd have the right to take the witness stand and testify on your own behalf. But you don't have to, because you have a right not to testify. And if you did not wish to testify, the judge or jury could not hold your silence against you. And you have the right to be presumed innocent if and until the state was able to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. They say this happened in White Pigeon. Trooper Hoffmeister's been around here for many years. He's from St. Joe County. Apparently on this day you were on what kind of bike was this?
It's a 2015 Kawasaki Z1000.
Well, when I was a kid, I was on the back of a Norton 750 going 120 miles an hour.
A Norton 7?
You were going 130 miles an hour. What happened? The policeman came behind you and just tell me what happened.
Your Honor, I was approaching traffic. I didn't know how fast I was going. I'm going to be honest. I didn't know I was doing 130. I'm going to be honest. I was cruising and I was talking on the phone, and I was talking to the cell phone place where I got my phone, because my phone I was at my niece's graduation party and my phone fell off the big speaker at her graduation party and it broke the back glass. So I was speeding. Yes, I was speeding. I don't know if I was doing that fast. If I was, I'm not going to say the officer's a liar. I'm not that type of person. So, I didn't realize that he was trying to pull me over. I passed a car when he was coming into the intersection on 12 to spin around. I seen him spin around. His lights were on the side of me, and I went in the other lane. I got in the lane and passed. And when I passed, his lights were off. I didn't know he was pulling me over, to be quite honest. I really didn't. And I was stopped on the side of the road up in White Pigeon because I only had 1/8 of a tank of gas. So I was stopping at that Shell station. So I stopped. My phone fell off right there where it goes to that construction zone. The construction zone right there, the road kind of has a dip. I hit the dip. I wasn't speeding at that point. I slowed down. Didn't know, that he was pursuing me at this point. I didn't know. My brother's also a police officer, so I mean, I'm not about running or any of that. So I pulled off. I took my jacket off because it was 97 degrees. I took my jacket and unzipped it and took it off, walked out on 12, grabbed my phone. My phone was busted and it fell off. It broke off of the mount on my, because of the bump. It broke, boom, and it broke my phone. As I was picking my phone up, Officer Hoffenmeister was behind me and said, "Put your hands behind your back. You're going to jail." And I was like, "What? I don't, what do you," he's like, "I tried to pull you over back there. You didn't see me?" It's like, "I honestly thought you were just doing a U-turn. I didn't know you were pulling me over. You had your lights on in the lane next to me, and then they went off as soon as you got in our lane. I just thought, you turned the lights off. You weren't, I mean, you weren't pulling me over. I'm sorry. I was like, I'm so sorry." It's like,
Well, here's what he wrote in the bond information report. Attempted to stop a motorcycle for 130 miles an hour. Driver later identified as Brian Wesley began to pull over. Wesley then rapidly accelerated and fled westbound on US 12. I had emergency lights activated for the stop, but I did not pursue. I don't know if those cars will go 130 miles an hour. Later received a call from a witness who saw the motorcycle at Laird Street in Michigan in White Pigeon. Witness saw the rider leave the bike and take off on foot. I later located Wesley, who admitted he was riding the motorcycle.
Yeah, I was getting my phone off of US 12. I parked one block on the corner of US 12. You could see my bike from US 12. I wasn't eluding. I turned the corner because where it fell off was at that intersection. So I got off right there at that intersection, unzipped my jacket, walked there, grabbed my phone. As I grabbed my phone, I turned around and he was right there.
Your Honor, we're withdrawing the offer. These offers are made because people accept responsibility. Mr. Wesley, I'm speaking, and if all they're going to do is make excuses for their behavior, then, Your Honor, we will accept the plea of guilty to reckless driving in light of the factual.
I'm not justifying. I'm not making any excuses. I'm really not. I was just giving the story. I'm not making any excuses. I apologize.
Stop. Someone prior to Judge Scheinlin called this peeing on my leg and tell me that it's raining, but she wrote a book to that title. It means you're peeing on my leg and tell me that it's raining. And Mr. Gabriel doesn't like it much. You're going 130 miles an hour on a Kawasaki crotch rocket down US 12 talking on the telephone. And I can't even conceive you could talk on the telephone on a K1000 where you're going 130 miles an hour.
Your Honor, you see the earbud?
And then you don't know nothing about nothing. The officer doesn't chase you because it's too dangerous. Someone sees you take off. They'll have a trial on the felony charge if you wish. Or, Mr. Gabriel, you would accept the plea to reckless driving?
Yes, Your Honor, with whatever sentence the court seems appropriate.
I apologize if I was making excuses. I really do. I'm sorry. I'm not making any excuses. What I did was wrong.
You're not being very forthcoming.
What I did was wrong.
All right, well, let me tell you this. All right, we'll have a chance to discuss this further in the sentence. All right, the prosecutors altered the plea agreement to the misdemeanor charge of reckless driving. 130 miles an hour talking on the phone certainly constitutes reckless driving. It is a misdemeanor. It's not a felony. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. Carries 6 points and will require that your driving privileges be suspended in the state of Michigan for at least 90 days. I'm not sure what Indiana will do. Do you wish me to accept the plea to reckless driving?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I apologize. I'm sorry.
All right. I'm going to set this for sentence. Ms. Hines is already set to be here on August 31, 21 at 11 a.m.
You said 30 or 21st or 31st, Your Honor?
August 31st.
31st? 31?
Yes, 31.
Okay.
You're to be here live in person. at the courthouse in Centerville. You should prepare to get back and forth to work because this is going to suspend your license for a period of time. To get the police report,
When will that take effect?
sometime after August 31st, probably within a couple of days of that.
So it's gonna suspend my license for how long, Your Honor?
90 days, might be 60.
96 days?
No, not, it might be 60 days, but I believe it's 90.
Okay.
Can you tell, Gary, from what you're looking at?
I gotta get it open. I thought it might even be worse than that.
The warrant manual has the
That
collateral
listed as
consequences.
90.
All right. All right. I will see you here live in person on August 31st at 11 a.m.
I just have one question for you, Your Honor.
All right.
When I go, can I figure out if they're gonna suspend my license in Indiana before then?
Yeah, you can explore that.
And how would I go about doing that?
Call the Indiana Secretary of State, I guess.
And you said it was 6 points on my license, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
All right. So is the other charge for what it's worth, but this is actually a lower charge. All right. You're free to go. We're going to have some heart-to-heart discussion when you're here looking me in the eye on the 31st of August. And,
Yes, sir. I'm
pee on
selling
my
the
leg.
motorcycles. I'm actually selling the motorcycles now.
All
So
right.
I won't be going that fast ever again.
Okay. My mother would have had a stroke if she knew I was going 122 miles an hour. Miss Beauchamp, good morning to you.
Good morning.
This is Judge Middleton. Your lawyer, Lori Hines, is here with us. Also, Prosecutor David Marvin is here, and Chief Assistant Gary Gabriel. Caitlin, we are on the Zoom platform. We're live on YouTube, and everything is being recorded. You've been waiting patiently for your case. Let me pull it up here. Clear out a little junk here. Ms. Beauchamp, you're charged in this complaint with possession of cocaine. We don't see that much anymore. That is a felony punishable by up to 4 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $25,000. I don't think they charge you as a habitual with the warrant. But my belief is you're on probation in circuit court for a drug charge, I think. So let's talk about this. The prosecutors agreed to reduce this to a misdemeanor charge of use of cocaine. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $2,000. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Mr. Gabriel, you confirm the plea offer?
Yes, Your Honor, that's accurate.
Ms. Hines, you concur?
Yes, I concur.
Do you understand, Caitlin, this could be a violation of your circuit, it should be a violation of your circuit court probation?
Yeah, I think we already did the violation.
All right.
She's on circuit court probation, not for a drug charge, Your Honor.
No, I'm on circuit court for a judge a drug charge. I have felony.
Yeah, I believe in file 21323 FY, it's a drug charge. You were involved in the world's worst armed robbery at the Sunny Mart a couple of years ago. The most poorly thought out armed robbery those other two people sucked you into. Are you on probation for that?
Yeah.
And yes. Which
All
is
right,
not a
and
drug charge.
but I thought you had a drug charge in circuit court. Do you also have one there?
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, it could violate your probation. You need cocaine like you need a hole in the head, but do you understand the rights I went through just a bit ago with the last gentleman, Mr. Wesley? All right. Did anyone promise you to get you to plead to this charge
No.
or threaten you?
No.
All right. On that day, June 14th, here in St. Joe County, did you possess some cocaine?
Yeah.
Who's your circuit court PO?
Matt Huff.
Oh, Matt Huff's your district court PO.
Oh, circuit court is Brandy.
All right, then you're on a probation in my court. Brandy Wonders is circuit court. All right, do you understand there could be some jail as a result of this?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to set this for sentence. It's going to be a busy day for Lori. I set all those things for August 31, which is a Tuesday. I meant to set them all for August 30th, which is a Monday. I gave those people the wrong day.
I kind of wondered about that, but I thought, yeah, well, I'll just be.
Yeah, he's losing it. Let's see here. And August 30th is Labor Day, so August 31st is the first day.
No, I think Labor Day is the 6th, September 6th.
No, August 30th, I have a vacation day.
Oh,
which is
got
why
it.
Labor Day is June, so let's look at.
No, Labor Day is September.
That's not a good day. Let's put this on Monday, September 13th. Does that work for you?
Yes.
I need to talk to Brandy Wonders. Matt Huff. And get the police report. Find out what happened in circuit court. Caitlin, are you working somewhere?
Yeah.
Where's that?
The Marathon Admiral and Rivers.
Wow. Did they know about the other deal?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you still living on Jean Street?
It's my best address.
That's the best address? All right. Monday, September 13th, live in person.
Okay.
You're going to be here Monday, September 13th at 11 o'clock for a live sentence. Do you have any questions? All right, you're free to go on about your business. Thank you. Okay. Now, that takes care of our customers that are here. Let's go through our list. Gary, I have a stipulation to adjourn because of Don Sopanos's appearance. We're adjourning the PEC. Do you wish to put it for next Tuesday, August 10th?
Your Honor, it's my understanding that it's just because of an illness. At least it appeared to be progressing from what Mr. Sopanos indicated from up until it is a COVID diagnosis. It seemed to be getting
Well,
worse, which is why they asked. So
Let's go 2 weeks. We'll go August 17th. At 8:30 or 9 a.m., excuse me. And preliminary examination for 8/24 at 1. All right, now we have a number of Ms. Hines' cases. Let's see if we need to see anyone from the jail.
Brandon Newman.
All right. That's a misdemeanor plea. Let's go through these, Lori. Destiny Miller, misdemeanor plea question mark.
Yep, she was to be present today for use of meth, and I met with her, and I talked to her, and I don't know why she's not present. I do have a phone number for her, and she answered when I called her.
All right, we'll try that.
And I emailed her all the documents.
Janice Lowry.
Janice came into my office and I met with her, and she got a misdemeanor offer. I tried calling her and I have not heard from her. I tried to text her this morning. I do have a phone number for her.
All right. Autumn Smith.
That case was nollied by the prosecutor.
Charles Higgins. He wishes a prelim.
That is correct.
All right, we'll set prelim for 8/10 at 1 o'clock. Live. Randall McDonald is a waiver.
It was a waiver.
Matthew Jackson, stip to adjourn. New attorney. Is that the one we just did?
correct.
Yes. Joshua Fleming, file 211477, that's the methamphetamine, that's a waiver.
That is a waiver, Your Honor.
201920, the assaultive charges, are that a waiver also?
Yes, he signed both waivers.
All right, very good. And then there's a third count, domestic violence, and a DV 201972, 3 waivers.
Yes. Well, I only got 2. He waived one. He only had 2 files. I only had 2 files for him.
Yeah. 1920 and 1972.
What about 21? Oh, wait a minute, wrong guy, Randall McDonald. Sorry about that. Tricia Cooley is a waiver.
Yes, Your Honor.
Claude Chambers is a waiver.
Yes, Your Honor.
Garrett Whitmore is a waiver.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So Trey Orban, no contact.
Well, you know, he miraculously called my office this morning at 8:36. Can't do this Zoom crap until I get my phone screen fixed. This should, there's a misunderstanding. I then sent him a Google text and he responded that he didn't have a car because I told him he either can call the court and enter the code number, and I gave that to him, or you can get to the courthouse. He said he didn't have a vehicle. I have no way to get there. I'm very poor, don't have money to give anyone gas money to take me very hard times, and I apologize. But I did give him the phone number to call in and the code, and is he here?
All right, we'll make a record on that in a minute. Jack Ruth, No
I
contact?
have had none with that guy.
All right. I'll call the jail and have them bring Brandon Newman in. You take a minute and call those other two clients. I'll shut the record off for a minute and then we'll come back in and do that. We're doing pretty well. Again, I appreciate everybody's work. Hello, booking. We're on the home stretch. I got the arraignment room still open. Can I see Brandon Newman down there?
Yep, be a couple minutes, we got an intake and a couple of packages for court, and we'll get it down there.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Bye. All right, we'll take a short minute here, take some of these files out and finish up. Oh, well, I better close the arraignment room out. They brought him in the other room. So let me close the arraignment room.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Newman. This is Judge Middleton. I'm over here at the courthouse.
Good morning, Mr. Middleton.
Your lawyer, Lori Hines, is here with me. I want to get you done here. I don't want to hold you up for lunch. This is file 211361.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're Brandon Michael Newman?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Newman, I believe we met before. You live out on Leland Road. You're
Yes,
charged with larceny in a building, malicious destruction of a building less than 200. The felony charge, larceny in a building, is punishable by up to 4 years imprisonment. Let me bring your file up here. Give me a minute.
Yes, Your Honor.
The allegation is that on or about June 4th, that you broke into a building at River Glen Condominiums by stealing mail in the city of Three Rivers, and that you maliciously injured or destroyed something at the River Glen Condominiums. There is also a habitual offender, which would make your maximum sentence, I believe, 20 years. What's the plea offer here, Mr. Gabriel?
Your Honor, there was a co-defendant involved. The co-defendant received the same offer, and that was that if Mr. Newman admits that he either did or assisted in the breaking an opening of a mailbox that caused $72 worth of damage to the mailbox, we would dismiss all the other charges.
All right, Mr. Newman, they're going to dismiss the felony charge. All right, thank you, Ms. Hines. For a plea to malicious destruction of a building, oh, darn it.
There was an attached mailbox to the building, Your Honor.
All right. Malicious destruction of a building is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. Also, there's an issue of the restitution. Do you understand the charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you going to plead to that charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that by pleading to that charge, you're giving up your right to have a trial in front of a judge or jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you had a trial, you'd have the right to be represented by an attorney. Ms. Hines has been appointed to represent you. You could also hire an attorney of your own choosing if you wish. If you had a trial, you'd have the right to take the witness stand and testify on your own behalf. But you don't have to, because you have a right not to testify. And if you did not wish to testify, the judge or jury could not hold your silence against you. If you had a trial, you would have a right to have any of the witnesses for or against you subpoenaed to come to court so they can be questioned under oath. And you have the right to be presumed innocent if and until the state was able to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, sir.
All right. One last thing. Did anybody threaten you to get you to plead to this charge?
No, sir.
Or promise you anything?
No, sir.
Were you with Terry Wilson that day on June the 4th?
Yes, Your Honor.
How'd you end up over at River Glen Condominiums?
Your Honor, we were just out walking and we walked in and seen that the door was unlatched and we walked in and seen the mailbox. It was already a little pried, so that's why we did what we did and that's why we were walking over that way, Your Honor. We were just out walking.
So did you pull the mailbox the rest of the way open and break it?
Yes, it was already open part of the way and then I broke the rest of it open, yes, Your Honor.
All right, I appreciate your candor. Let's see how long you've been in jail here.
I believe 13 days.
12, it says. Yeah, this is, yeah. The date of offense is June 5th. Apparently they identified you off Facebook. Gary, do we know what happened to the co-defendant?
She was offered the same opportunity and she pled in district court to the malicious destruction of that mailbox. And I know that the defendant here has also is awaiting a sentencing, I believe, in circuit court. He left his bond intact because he was hoping for release by you today, and then he's still on bond to circuit to Judge Stutzman.
Yes, Your Honor. I have a job. Your Honor, and child support.
Where's your job?
Right now I'm doing construction, and I work with part-time with Steve. I do braking, and then I also do constructions with the brothers in Three Rivers.
Steve who?
Lavender.
I was afraid of that.
I don't have to work there. I have a main job that I work at. That's
He doesn't have a contractor's license. He's got all kinds of problems, but.
Yeah, I know, he's not, it's just, but I got other places I'm working right now for construction.
Well, you had a Clark Logic shirt on when you were doing this B&E deal. Mr. Jamie Clark would be proud of you to be wearing his company shirt while you're out committing crimes. Did you work at Clark Logic at one time?
Yes, I did, and I'm also able to go back there too as well if he's not too mad at me. Yeah, so I definitely have work to stay busy, and I definitely am on the right track. I just messed up, and I'd like to continue to be out and do what I need to do, sir.
Mr. Gabriel, you have any objection if I just order time served and let him back out on a circuit court bond pending sentence?
As long as you indicate he needs to pay 72.20 something.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
All right. Well, this was a fool's errand here. It was one of those things that had just happened, and you went in there, and then impulse took over, and here you are.
Yes, sir.
All right. 12 days jail credit 12.
Thank you, Mr.
I'm going to waive
Middleton.
the fine. I'm going to waive your attorney fee, $75 crime victims' rights fee, $75 state minimum fee, and $75 restitution to River Glen.
Yes, sir. Will be paid.
That's $200.
Do I pay that at the courthouse or?
Yes, I'm going to give you until September 15th.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, now you still got obligations in circuit court. I want you to address those matters as well. Stay in contact with your attorney. But this early morning enterprise is done. I don't think Miss Wilson got 12 days in jail. You weren't able to post bond. All right, you're good to go.
All right, thank you. So my PR bond's good for felony too, right?
If that's still in effect, then you're good to go.
Yep, I just had court the other day. All right, thank you, Mr. Middleton. Thank
All
you,
right,
Mr.
you're
Hunt.
good to go.
You're welcome. Good luck. Stay out of trouble, Brian.
So I will give you a call, or do I need to call my other lawyer? DMCA.
You need to call your other lawyer. I'm done with you. Call your other lawyer, okay?
Yep, thank you so much.
Thank
All right,
you.
very good.
Bye.
All right, we're on the home stretch here. We got the no-showers. How'd you do with Janice Lowry?
I didn't make contact with any of them, Your Honor.
All right, well.
So I have 4.
Can't make it any easier than having to dial in. On the Lowry case, she posted a $25,000 surety bond. Boy, we're going to be shaking up the bonding company here.
She was really good to maintain contact with me. She came in, she met with me, we explained everything.
To a bench warrant. Bond, $25,000, cash or surety. Do immediate notice of forfeiture of previous bond. And Lori will hold 48 hours.
Okay. I'll continue to try to reach out to her.
That was Lowry, right?
Yes.
Correct. File 211439 FY. we waste so much time by people not showing up, chasing our tails, doing bench warrants, doing orders of show cause, that it can't make it any easier than people to just dial in. Destiny Ruth Miller, kind of the same boat. You had contact with the client, but she fails to appear for this, and you weren't able to reach by phone.
Yes.
File number
and
is
I did-
211496.
I even emailed her, sent her all the court documents, clarified with her what she needed to do. And I could not reach her this morning.
She has a $7,500 PR bond. Bench warrant, bond, $7,500 cash surety, hold 48 hours. Jack Daniel Ruth, file number 211187, apparently had no contact whatsoever from this client.
Correct.
And unable to reach by phone.
Nope, we left a voice message to call on 7/27. On July 30th, I tried calling, someone answered, but they would not speak to me.
Do you have the 5514 number?
I have 269-319-0171.
He has a $1,500 cash or surety bond.
I'm sorry, but the person you called has a voicemail box.
Yeah, I have about a 0.01 success rate on that, but all right, bench warrant. Bond, $5,000 cash or surety, hold 48 hours. Immediate bond forfeiture notice to bonding company.
Judge, Prosecutor Marvin's going to take over for the last few. I've got to go to circuit court.
All right, thank you for your help. We've got just one more case to do. I'm sure David can ably handle it. Gary, thank you for your help this morning.
Yeah, and I just wanted to give you a heads up. Apparently Foster, that shooting is still going to run. The one at the Paul's Pantry.
Yeah, I am going to go back to the jail to meet with Donovan. I need to take my laptop and we need to review the video together. And I told him that we would do that. So when I met with him, I just didn't have time. I'd already been there over 4 hours. So
no, and I just wanted the judge to know that if that is going to run, I know I've got probably 1, 2, 3, 4. I think about 5 witnesses that if we're going to run it, I want to preserve their testimony.
I certainly understand. We are also have that animal cruelty case on White, and I'm willing to do whatever needs to be done.
And with
Um,
Charles Higgins, Gary, I haven't gotten through to him. I don't know if Luke is gonna go talk to him, but that's also a prelim that's very likely gonna need to run.
Yeah, but that's only gonna be one witness. I'm not worried
Right.
about that. I know.
Have
there's
you
no-
guys talked to Miss Davis about, did she relate to you the exchange we had on the record about Mr. Higgins last week?
No,
It didn't have anything to do with this case, but
No, I know what he's claiming, how valuable he is, whatever, but doesn't
That's
change.
actually been discussed, and there's nothing to that that's going to change the outcome of her case. Just so I know exactly what you're talking about, and that was never part of a deal. That was just a Good Samaritan tip.
no, I'll tell you when we shut it off.
Sure.
All right, we have one more Mr. Orban to do, and David, then we'll free up. This is file 211492, People versus Trey Edward Orban. He called Ms. Hines, said he can't get here, no way to be here, there, no money, no phone. I can't make it any easier. So here's our options. Simply leave it on for prelim and require defendant to be present at the court next week. What's your thought regarding that?
I have a thought. I think that if we leave it on, he's got to be here, but
Yes.
that should be used as the PEC opportunity, because
All
that
right.
would put Lori in a bind.
All right, I'll leave it on for prelim, and the prosecutor is not required to produce witnesses.
Okay.
Defendant must appear in person. I thought sure we would be going until noon today. There was so much to do. But to credit to your all pre-exam hard work. All right, so Mr. Orban has to be here live and in person. We'll use it for a PEC. In which case you got zero time to deal with him, but we'll get him here and then see what we're gonna do. All right, I believe that finishes all the cases we have for this